All right, so it has passed already 5 minutes, so we will see if other will join in the meantime. It's a pity it is a small group, but anyway, we will respect your punctuality, and we will start with a webinar. So let's see, I will open my video. So you can see my face. Well, you see, I can read there my name as Cristabel Huerta. Perhaps you have heard about me or seen another webinar in the past. Well, HATO is offering these free webinars time to time along the year. We have been doing this already for 2 years with a lot of success. So I'm surprised that today is quite a low audience. But not for that, it's not important. So we always love to share our knowledge and insights with the people of the sector. And today is Bart Marshall with me, Business Development Manager. So I would like to pass the word to Bart so he can introduce himself. So you, perhaps you are able now to see him also appearing on your screen. Please, Bart, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Cristabel. Indeed, I'm Bart Marshall. I'm a business development manager for HATO Agricultural Lighting. And my main focus is North Africa, Middle East, Asia, and also Australia and New Zealand. So especially in that area, I'm in close contact with all of my customers, and we try to, yeah, as you can see, improve life through brightness all the time. So yeah, that's basically my role within HATO.
Yes, thank you, Bart. So he will be supporting today, also sharing his insights, what he have experienced on fields with customers in regards to what we will talk about today, which the topic is improved broiler performance through lighting. Along the year, we come with different topics, always talking about the importance of lighting in livestock farms. And today the focus is a broiler application. So you might have questions for other applications, please leave it in the chat. And of course, anyway, some aspects that we will talk about in this presentation has to do in general with poultry performances and how poultry perceives lighting. But in a certain aspects, we will focus more on the broiler application. So let's start. I will just give a short introduction about HATO. Very briefly, in case that you have not known HATO or just hear about it. Basically, our tagline is the essence of HATO, improving light through brightness, just as Bart mentioned. And that comes into bringing innovative lighting solutions into the agricultural sector. That we have been doing for almost 50 years. We have started with a lighting solution for mushrooms chambers or houses where the extreme environment is something that damaged the lights, is something that happened also in poultry farms. So that technology and resistance and what we have seen as success in the mushrooms houses is what we have brought in poultry farms, and with a lot of success. And along these years, we have experienced different applications, designs, and of course, nowadays bringing innovative solutions, or as we call it, smart lighting systems that will help to improve animal well-being. You will see a difference in animal performance and at the end to improve farm results. So it is not only about improving life of the animal, but also fulfilling the needs of the farmer, and at the end contribute with a more sustainable farming. So let's go directly with the next survey, just to know a bit about you. What is your perspective about lighting, and your understanding on this topic? Okay.
Exactly. So how would you describe your knowledge and understanding about poultry lighting? So A, you think you're an expert. B, I've already some knowledge. C, I've little knowledge. Or D, maybe you have no knowledge of this subject yet. So please feel free to click on the button that feels most comfortable with yourself.
Exactly. It's not correct or wrong. We are all here to learn. Even when you are an expert, then it is always another way to see things and something new to know about lighting and poultry management. All right. So I see here that did you have a bit of knowledge and that you don't have that much knowledge yet. So thank you for your input. That is important for us also in the way to know how to bring these topics to the audience. All right, so let's continue. And I would like then to start with basic concepts, so to understand better how to perceive light, what is the meaning, so that we can put it in context and in a practical way in poultry farms. So light as definition is the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum, so color vision, as you can read in here. And as you see from the graphic, is this a visible part? So what we perceive as daylight is this representative solar spectrum. So a graphic that is quite broad and that white light, let's say, that contains all these colors that goes from the ultraviolet until the infrared. And the visible light for humans or for animals differs per species. So we will see it, that comparison in the next graphic. But what that I want to make it clear in here is how this visible light is to understand that is polychromatic light. So the combination of all these colors and that you perceive as white light, and that what we want to have in a poultry farm, in a broiler house, is to simulate daylight. So to simulate the environment as much as possible as it would be in their natural environments. And of course, that these wavelengths, as you see from the blue-green part of the spectrum, they are shorter than from the yellow to the red. They are a longer wavelengths. That is also a different way of perception of the animals, how these different colors influence on the animal behavior. So let's go to the next graphic. There you see how poultry light perceives that spectrum in comparison with a human way of perception. You see that poultry has a broader or let's say they are more sensitive to light than humans, because they can even perceive the ultraviolet, say they can see it, something that we cannot see. So that is a differentiation on the way that poultry perceives light. So they are more sensitive than us. They see more colors than us. And that is a way that light really influence on animal behavior in their biorhythms and how the different wavelengths can be perceived by a bird. So it is two ways, through the eye, which gives the behavioral responses, meaning the way that they can see their surroundings, if they can find feeders, drinkers. That is how light will penetrate through the eye. So already below 4 looks, they can already see something around them. So, but what you have to ensure is to give sufficient light. And for that, you know that the first per stages for age of the chickens, how many light intensity you will give. But of course, that this light should be as well uniform, so that they can really see better, feel more at ease, and then they will really reach what you want. Also, it's a way to manage animal behavior. So you have to see light as well as a tool that will influence the desired behavior if you get to know what is really the optimal light climate in the house. And that depends on many factors that we will learn in here. So you see that through the skull, it is how it is influencing the biological responses. And that is more about the longer waves that penetrates easier the skull. And that can even improve egg laying performance, hatchability. And that is in the red part of the spectrum. So here we are talking as well a bit of a color of light. So we see that we will be talking about many aspects of lighting, the way that influence animal behavior, and you can do a bit more on management in your farm. So we have here another poll. We'll launch it by now.
Which aspects does the farmer consider important in a lighting installation? So of course, here also multiple choice one. Is it price? Is it energy savings, durability, easy installation, light intensity, or light distribution? So feel free to click the one that is most important to you.
Yes, if you consider more than one is also possible. It's a multiple choice. And we see you are answering. All right, so I will end the poll by now. I see that majority has chosen about price, and then of course energy saving, installation, and then is light intensity, and a minor percentage light distribution and durability. So you see all these options. The first three options are related to the technology of the light source. So what is the supplier offering? So what is the price that it's giving? If it is really helping to save energy, to get less energy consumption, and how long is the lifetime of the lights. Each installation is about the installer or supplier, also how it works, the system or the lights, is it easy to replace, and so on. But the last two, light intensity and light distribution, that is really meant on the, let's say, properties of light. So the really key aspects of lighting that will help to influence animal behavior and also poultry management. So let's talk more about these aspects. So that is what will help to reach the optimal light climate in the house, and according to application, according to type of house, and that you will help you to improve results in the farm. So let's go to the next slide, and we will see what are the other aspects of lighting that helps you to create an optimal light climate. So we have been talking already a bit of light spectrum. We have here the CRI, the CCT, that is a bit of a color of light that we have been also talking about, light flicker. Perhaps you have here about a flicker in the lights, dimmability, photo period, light distribution, and light intensity. So we will talk a bit of this along the presentation. So let's see the next slide, where we were really putting importance on getting a broad light spectrum, because that will approach more the natural daylight. And with that, the meaning is to improve eyesight of birds, and with that, they will perceive better their environments, they will perform better, they will feel more at ease, meaning that you will increase their well-being, and you will see a result in performances. That is just really fulfilling the basic needs of the animals. Then if we go to compare the light spectrum with the different light sources, we will see those advantages. But first, I would like to launch this poll.
Exactly. So which kind of lighting is used in the broiler farms in your region? So this one, again, a multiple choice. Is it that natural daylight? Maybe you have curtains on the side, something like that. Is it a fluorescent solution? Is it traditional LED bulbs like E27 fit? Is it tubular LED lighting, poultry specialized LED lighting, or maybe even anything else with answer F?
Yes. And we put here E27 fit or other kind of fit that you screw that is for you easy to replace, something like that. Yeah. If you are using natural daylight and other artificial lighting inside to support light uniformity. Okay, so I see that I have answered. So I will end the poll. Majority is using the E27 fit, still natural daylight, fluorescent and tubular LED lighting in the same percentage, as well as poultry specialized. Okay, so here we will come back at the end of the presentation, and also you will see different solutions, and we will name the advantages or disadvantages between each other. So here we'll start with the light spectra to compare with the different light sources. So here we have, for instance, the incandescent, which it has a very broad light spectrum. Here we have more presence of the warm whites, of the red part of the spectrum, meaning that we have a more warm white lighting solution. And when we have more of the blue-green part of the spectrum is what we will call the cool white. So here we'll say what performances on the photo stimulation in the bird, that would be an ideal solution. But of course, about costs and energy consumption, the incandescent was not the best solution to have in poultry farms. So basically that was the concept what in the market they have switched to fluorescent lights. That saved a lot of energy consumption. But if you compare about the spectrum, then you see that is quite short. So we are not improving eyesight in poultry. Here they missed that better visibility, and many of the fluorescent lights also has that flicker. We will later on learn a bit more about flicker, but that is an aspect that causes a lot of stress, and stress causes also unwanted behavior that can lead to agitation, to illness, so that the birds eat less, that the mortality rates increase, and so on. So it's really an aspect of lighting that influence on the behavior and the well-being of your animals. And nowadays technology is the LED, because if you compare the spectra is broader, is something more similar in the way that poultry perceives the light spectrum. And it is also allows you to create different designs that adapts better to the type of housing, to the systems, the way that you can maximize the light output of the lamp and get a better light distribution. And that to really get the right lighting densities that you need to influence on the different stages of the life of the birds and get the desired results. Besides, they have longer lifetime than fluorescent or incandescent. That really triples the lifetime, and there is one aspect like durability that you get more out of it, and they're also more energy efficient than a fluorescent or other light sources. So here you also saved on energy cost, you reduce energy consumption, it is better for the environment, so it has a lot of advantages. Then what you have to see is what the supplier offers to you about technology, quality, materials, lifetime, installation, and so on. But that is what LEDs covers more, and also approaches better the aspects of lighting than other light sources, so that we want to simulate daylight. So about the color of light, so I was explaining what warm white is, cool white is. So as you see, lower CCT, what is measured in Kelvin degrees, means that you have more red light in it. So you are talking about lights of less than 3000 Kelvin. And a cool white solution is about 4000 to 5000 Kelvin degrees, and that is focused more on the blue-green part of the spectrum. If you see, you can compare on daylight, like sunrise and sunset is a more warm white solution, and a blue sky midday is more a cool white color. but the white color is the full spectrum of light, similar to natural daylight. And that is what birds need. So the full spectrum, not only one color, like we would say monochromatic light, that a specific color might help you on certain applications. So let's have this poll.
Exactly. So what are the most common colors of light used in broiler farms? Is that cool white? Is that warm white? Or is it even green, blue, or red?
Okay, so we have here the choice of polychromatic light, so the cool white or warm white, that you might use also with other monochromatic color or a combination of it. Really nice to see. Okay, so here your region perhaps is common to have the cool white and the blue as well. So let's go to the next slide, where we see the benefits on the different colors. For instance, a cool white that helps to improve growth and feed conversion rate. That is because the combination with the blue and green is what helps to reinforce muscles and bones, because activates the birds. So that is what is highly recommended in broilers, especially on broilers that goes up to the 2 kilos, so now heavy broilers, because it increases this activity. And if that is not possible to manage within your flock, that might lead to unwanted behavior, meaning flapping, get injuries, mortality rates, and so on. So for heavy broilers, we recommend the warm white, because that spectrum keeps birds calmer, and that prevents as well leg and wing problems and improves chicken quality. And what we have seen as an added value by using just one color is the blue, and that is because makes the bird sit still. So when you have chosen the solution of using blue in broilers, I hope you refer when doing the catching before the slaughter, because it is indeed easier to catch birds there. They are still, they are not stressed. You avoid leg and wings broken, marks in the breast, and so on. That is, of course, less paid when you tell that in productivity, and as well that it is easier and more efficient to do this task. So let's show this video. Perhaps you have seen it or experienced that, but it's very nice to see that blue effect in broilers. So you see that is the difference. The blue is quite intense, but it has this special effect where the birds perfectly see their surroundings, but they just sit still quietly, and that can help to realize this task. But of course, the idea is not to leave the broilers under that light, because it's not getting the full spectrum of light. So the other colors that are necessary for the proper growth of the birds. So it's just to apply it at that specific moment. Sometimes I also use it for vaccination. That would also help. So I have another poll here, and let's launch it.
Exactly. So there's of course many challenges in a broiler farm. So what are the main challenges to overcome in a broiler farm? Is that A, uneven growth, feed conversion ratio at B, C for piling and wet litter, stress and mortality at D, or E, chicken quality?
So we know those are all challenges in a broiler farm, or which one is most common in your region or with customers you have experience. That is something we'd like to know. Okay, so all have answered. You see here that feed conversion ratio to get optimal, it's quite challenging in here. Uneven growth and chicken quality. And less percentage, we see a stress and mortality and piling and wet litter. So we'll see how these are a bit related one with the other to achieve better results and how lighting can help. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Here we present the winning formula. This is for the way to improve FCR. Idea is really to get an optimal light climate. Of course, light is not only a factor to take into account in a poultry farm, but it's a factor that you cannot underestimate because it really helps to influence the biorhythm of the birds, to influence their behavior. And then you can get the desired performance in the barn if you apply the right climate with the correct lighting system or a position of the lights to achieve better results. So what we have here is that you, in order to get an improved FCR, you need to get a higher feed and water intake, but also less stress, meaning that it won't be wasted, that feed, that nutrition in the birds in order to really gain weight. Because stress leads to that unwanted behavior that we have mentioned, and that's what decreases or lower the performance in your barn. So how to reduce stress in poultry? That is the questioning here to get to better results. So I have here another poll for you. So let's get to your perception. Yeah.
Exactly. So how can lighting help to reduce the stress in poultry? And again, here it's a multiple choice, but you have to choose one. So one that you think is has most benefit for you.
Yes, it's more from your perspective point of view, which one is the option that helps really to reduce stress in poultry? Perhaps there are other options that can help. But from your experience, what is the one that reduces stress? Okay, so people has answered, and we see here dimmable and flicker free lights as the main factor, lower lighting density, and indeed those are correct answers. Mainly dimmable and flicker free lights. We will go to that aspects to review that. Lower lighting density, that helps to manage activity in the farm. So indeed, when you lower the lights, dim the lights down, that will decrease activity in the barn, but not precisely will eliminate or take the stress away, because it might be another factors in there also related to light that still is causing a stress in the birds. So let's see how flicker looks like. Let's see if that runs smoothly, the video, but anyway, if it goes in a slow motion, doesn't matter, because the idea is to get how the flicker is perceived by birds, because this is a video exactly where we can get that flicker, because on simple human eyesight, we not always see that flicker, but poultry perceive it through the eye and also through the skull. So that flicker, if you compare with the other lamp, which was very steady, that is our Corax, there you see that there is no flicker at all, and that will not will help to birds feel better. And with the flicker light, which is the fluctuation in light intensity of a lamp, if we see it in a graphic, it will look like this. So when you have alternate current solutions, those screw bulbs from lights that you can easily replace, many times that have this flicker. We as humans do not perceive it, but poultry are very sensitive to it, because it's a constant on and off of the lights. and they perceive it as light and shadow, and that shadows are like a predator coming to catch them, and that also creates an alert, and it's just very annoying. So imagine when you have a lamp that is almost end of life, if you have it on your night table, and then it's start to flicker, so that suddenly it turns off and then again on, and it's quite annoying. So imagine all lights doing that in the barn. That creates a lot of stress, and that can lead to huddling and smothering, then increases mortality rates and so on. So it's lowering the performances of your farm. And that aspect you can measure the same with the others that we have mentioned in here. You can measure it with a light meter. That is quite accurate, and there you can see the flicker percentage, flicker index, the frequency, because there are some lighting solutions that also say that are flicker free, but sometimes has to do with the frequency that it goes very fast, so how many times per second that fluctuation occurs, and that is going so fast that you cannot perceive it, but it still is in there. So depending on the technology of the LEDs or the suppliers of this lighting system, that will differ one of the other, but then you can measure it and ensure to get as close as possible to 0.0 from sensitivity of birds, because you see they are more sensitive than humans. Okay, and it's also very important that when dimming the lights, that flicker does not occur, because again, this is stressing the birds. Having also a deep dim curve in your lights will also help to simulate more daylight, to simulate dusk and dawn, to prevent your poultry of what is coming, to stimulate more unnatural behavior. That will also prevent sudden stress responses. That prevents increased heart rate and energy usage, as saw in the winning formula. If we decrease that wasted energy, then birds will gain more weight, and you will decrease your feed conversion ratio. So that's the idea. Okay, so we have here another poll.
Exactly. So how to improve uniform growth in broilers having an optimal FCR? Is that A, by stimulating feed and water intake with correct light intensities, B, uniform light distribution, or C, reduce stress?
So yeah, we have given some hints already. But from your perspective, what helps to improve uniform growth and having an optimal FCR? So that you have already two things converted from challenge into benefits with help of lighting. All right, so I have answered. We'll see that they have answered majority stimulate feed and water intake with correct light intensities very well. The reduce stress, of course, but in the way to get an improved uniform growth and stimulate FCR, you need to stimulate the feed and water intake with correct light intensity, but being equally or having a uniform light distribution in the barn. So we will see it that in the next slide, that light intensity and light distributions goes hand by hand, because it's creating equal living conditions along the house. So not at just a certain point or just underneath the lamps, and then you have this these zebra effects, shadows and brilliant areas where you see that the birds are not equally distributed along the barn or the house. There is also an effect that leads to wet litter, piling, and then also diseases, injuries on footpath lesions, breast blisters, and so on. When you have as well lights that are very intense and that underneath you have feeders, then of course chickens will look for a preferred area, and that may lead to competition for feed and water. So they will avoid those brilliant spots. So it's very important, yes, to have the right lighting densities in the right area of the house, but creating these equal living conditions along the system or along the house. Then you see that your chickens will be equally distributed everywhere, no competitions for feed and water. That would stimulate a more uniform growth, also improves bird health distribution and meat quality. So again, less stress, they are more happy, they all get their feed, water, they can identify the surroundings, and they are more at ease. So it is very important to consider all these aspects. And that is going to the next poll. So before I continue.
So how can you get an optimal light climate? Again, a single choice one, is it by recommendation or by measuring and analyzing? Is it by your own experience or by requesting a custom-made light plan?
And now you're able to answer the poll. That is to continue in the way that you can achieve all these aspects of light, fulfilling the needs of your animals, the type of house, the application, in order to get really the optimal light climate in your house. Okay, so I have answered and poll. Then we see that as by measuring, analyzing aspects of light, it's correct. And of course, then the next step would be by requesting a custom-made light plan, because you have measured all these aspects, then you have the data, then you know your current situation. You can see the areas of improvement when you know that that other aspects of light might also influence in the animal behavior. And then it's about asking the expertise, the light specialist, the supplier, what will help, which would be the right lighting solution. And the idea is to get the custom-made light plan, because that is adjusted specifically to the dimensions, characteristics of the broiler house, and will tell you exactly where to install the lights. So the distance between the lamps, the distance between the lines, how far from the walls to the center, that to avoid shadows, to create these equal living conditions with sufficient light well distributed along the barn. And of course, that light goes to bird eye level. Same if you have broiler cage housing, there's a different lighting solution that goes in the system that gives you the right lighting density to increase animal well-being and as well performances. It is very important in a floor housing, for instance, the colors of the walls and ceiling, because if you have a lighter color in there, then it will reflect the light better. If you would have a darker house, then absorbs more the light, and that will mean that in order to have a uniform light distribution, you might need more lamps in the line, or even an extra line to get that uniformity of light, if you want to improve a uniform growth and uniform performances. Okay, so we see here, for instance, before and after HATO lighting, how this house has been improved only about lighting in the house. So you see here lamps that looks bigger. That seems that they will get more light output out of this design, let's say. But a lot of the light is wasted in the ceiling instead going to the floor when it is needed to the poultry management. We see in the other house a nicer environment, a more even light distribution. The design is different, but it's quite good, covering all these aspects of light, talking about a broad light spectrum with LEDs that gives you more advantages. So here are some HATO lighting solutions that Bart can tell you a bit more.
Exactly.
About.
So these are some of the lighting solutions that we could be using in let's say, a broiler house. From left to right, starting with the Pika. The Pika is actually a very nice retrofit option. It actually works on 220 volts AC, so it's an AC current light, and it's dimmable from about 2 to 100%. And it's actually a very nice introduction to professional poultry lighting. Therefore, also very affordable and approachable. If you then go a bit more to the right, you see the Cernia. The Cernia is part of our premium collection, let's say. The premium collection is at this moment all operating on 48 volts DC. So compared to the Pika, that's one of the main differences. It's DC instead of AC. And the Cernia actually is special because the Cernia is, first of all, designed to operate especially for houses with a low ceiling. So when you have a ceiling of 2.3 meters or below, then the Cernia will be perfect for you. The reason is because it distributes the light in such a way that you actually won't get a bright spot right underneath the light. So it will push the light actually a little bit more to the side, so you will still have a nice and uniform lighting climate. To zoom a little bit more into the 48 volts DC, which was one of the main differences with the Pika, it actually gives you the ability to dim the lights from 0 to 100%. This is something that with the AC current light, it's very difficult or maybe even impossible to do. So with the DC voltage light, you can actually dim 0 to 100%. Also, because it's a low voltage system, we see that it's way more fire safe. So you will only with your wires have to go in with a low voltage cable. So this, of course, is also very low risk on any type of fire. So therefore, also very a safe solution. Maybe to zoom a little bit more into the dimmability of the lights, the 0 to 100%. This is actually a really important factor, especially when you look also at broiler houses. Dimmability, in my opinion, actually also means more farm management. So what I especially see with a lot of customers in the first week, especially, you see that customers want to give the broiler birds kind of a high intensity of lux levels to stimulate the feed intake and the growth. But especially after that first week, farm managers usually bit by bit they go down. So you see maybe first week at 40 lux, after 2 weeks you're maybe at about 20 lux. And if you go even further in production, we see that in the grow out period, maybe you're going to go to 5 lux or even below. And the reason for this is, of course, because you want the birds to be very calm, not too active, not too much playing around, and actually almost just reaching for the nipple and for the feeding pan. And if you have a light that is not dimmable very nice, then actually you can maybe not go down to such a low levels in a nice uniform way. So this is where, again, also the uniformity comes in hand, and also the dimmability from 0 to 100 is very important. To go to the next system, the Bubo light, it's also 48 volts DC system, so also dimmable from 0 to 100%. And this is actually a system that we especially for the broilers use inside cages. So broiler cages is usually done with a Bubo tube light. And if you then go to the Corax and the Pulsar, these are actually the same lights, only the connections are a bit different. So with the Corax, you see you have a pot wherein you can make the connection yourself. You can actually source the cables, you can source them locally. With the Pulsar, it's actually a little bit more easy and it's plug and play. So these two are usually used for broiler floor housing systems if you have a floor of about 2.3 meters and higher. So this is a bit in general the lighting solutions that we offer.
Yes, indeed. So about higher ceilings, so Corax or Pulsa will work very good. DC as what we refer to direct current solutions. So when we were talking about a flicker, you see that graphic of that fluctuation that alternate current lights always gives you. And then you see a middle line that refers to the direct current solutions, meaning that this lights works with power supplies that will convert that alternate current into direct current and get low voltages, so very secure and also very steady. So
Exactly.
that therefore we refer to a lighting system that will help you to achieve better results to cover these aspects of light in the way that we will improve well-being of the animals. So I like a little bit putting in summary what Bart said. Good LED lighting, of course, is produced with using the highest quality material. So that would depend on the supplier of the manufacturer of those lights. In our case, all our lights are IP67 rated. Also the system itself, so it is very secure, provide maximum fire protection, easy installation, which is also very important for the farmer installer. As a result, you have a long problem-free lifetime of the lights. They are also energy efficient, meaning that gives you more lumen per watt, and also reducing those energy costs and saving some energy consumption. There's also easy to clean, being waterproof, hermetic sealed. That is also very important. So that gives you even a longer lifetime to what on average you will get from LEDs when are very resistant and quality materials. There, of course, you will reduce cost in replacement, in downtime, less risk, and so on. So the whole picture, you get it with a good LED light system that covers the aspects of lighting, meaning covering the needs of the animal and the farmer at the same time. And here are some results in regards of getting the optimal light climate in a house. This is coming from a testimonial in Pakistan of a broiler breeder house, where they have changed initially only the lights from fluorescent to LEDs, in this case was the Corax. So they have saved 60% in energy costs. They got a return of investment in less than 18 months, and they got a 4% greater uniformity in birds. Then for breeders, you see also the higher hatchability, 2%, the huge issue on floor eggs that they had was 25% less eggs on the floor, and the 2.5% pig production. So there you see that having the right light climate in the house according to the specific characteristics of each house, region, and the light management, then you can achieve a better results in the farm. So here is the presentation. We appreciate your time, and that we saw that others were also joining along the presentation. Very happy to see that. Well, we thank you for your presence here. We have now some room for questions in case that you have put a comment or question in the chat box, or if you want to do it now, please feel free to do that. We will read on the questions and try answer them. Or else you can also contact us afterwards. You see here my contact details, or access the website. You can also follow us via the social media. We come to there to post some information about lighting and different applications, different sectors as well. And also when an event is coming, or when we will put another webinar that you can join us. As well, you can check our website if you would like to request a light plan free of charge, just to get to know what would be an ideal solution to achieve a better light climate in your broiler house. that you can compare of what you are having by now, feel free to contact us as well.